Welcome back to Diaz's Top 5's. I'm the morgue man, Rich Diaz. And last week we covered the worst championship belt designs of all time. But now, this week, the power of positivity has hit us, and we are going to be talking about the best belt designs of all time, at least according to me. So without any further ado, let's get into our list. Number 5, the NXT North American Championship. Nothing that I love more than an old school feel to a championship, and Triple H has done that yet again, bringing out the NXT North American Championship, first won by Adam Cole in that great ladder match at NXT TakeOver, whichever one it was. But regardless of the fact, I look at that and it reminds me of the old 80s territory days, the 70s. It reminds me of back when Hulk Hogan defeated the Iron Sheik in 1984 for the championship, then the Big Green Monster. And it's a great looking championship. I love the design of it. I actually own it, and so should you. Number 4, the NWA Championship. Yes, the 10 pounds of gold, Old Charlotte, or whatever it is that Nick Aldis calls it. It is the championship most synonymous with Harley Race, in my opinion, and Ric Flair when you think about NWA champions. It has died and come back so many times, the company I'm talking about, and it just does not go away after 70 years. NWA Championship is still here, still with the same design, still carrying the same lineage, and that is one thing that's missing from my collection, but I'm sure a lot of you own it, and I envy you. Great design with a lot of history behind it. Number 3, the Big Eagle Championship. Introduced the night after WrestleMania when Shawn Michaels lost the championship to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Vince McMahon came out, it had like a little blue strap then, and then finally they fixed it and they made it black. It was basically a remix of the Winged Eagle Championship. It was bigger, just like everything was getting in wrestling at the time. It would look better in some people's opinion. I love the design with the eagle in the center, and it's most synonymous with Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and even Chris Jericho to a degree, because he was basically the last man to hold that championship belt together with the big gold one. Great design, wish I had it, I know some of you do. Number 2, the Winged Eagle Championship. Man, when you talk about iconic championship belts, and one that probably any belt collector in the world started with or clearly has in their collection, it is the Winged Eagle Championship, introduced at WrestleMania 4 when Macho Man Randy Savage defeated the $1 Million Man in that horrible tournament to win the championship, and it stuck around all the way till WrestleMania 14, as I alluded to earlier. Wonderful design, most synonymous of course with Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels. And it's one of those championships, like I said, that when you looked at it, it wasn't some big, gaudy, horrible design. It was just, you looked at it and you knew whoever was holding it was the man. It was just an important looking piece of property for whoever was holding it. And it is still, to me, the second most iconic belt design of all time. Honorable mentions, the NWA TV title. Beautiful design, has been around forever. Got resurrected this year in NWA Power. I've always loved the diamond-shaped design that it's had. It's been held by anybody who's been anybody that's been through Mid-Atlantic or Jim Crockett Promotions, and I'm glad to see it still has life. The AEW Championship. Yes, it's new, it's fresh. How can it be on the list? Well, it's a wonderful design. I like the fact that they took it looks like from Lucha Underground, the Gift of the Gods title, and just a whole completely different design. I like the logo being right there in the center so you know what you're watching. Even if you've turned on AEW for the first time and you didn't know what was going on, if you saw Jon Moxley walk out with that title, you go, okay, I guess it's called AEW. Beautiful belt design. Great job, whoever came up with it. And I'm sure that years from now, they'll come up with an even better design when they have to replace that one. And the number 1 greatest championship belt design of all time is the big gold belt, of course, your marks. Who doesn't own a big gold belt and calls themselves a wrestling championship belt collector? Everyone has one. And I know mine's isn't to par with some of you's, that you probably wasted God knows how much money on it. But at the end of the day, I have a thing called life, rent, car notes. Not to make fun of any of you, but more power to you if you could get a better version than I clearly got right here. And of course, when you look at this championship belt, one name comes to mind. Woo! Ric Flair. It's always been, this is basically, they should just rename it the Flair belt. And it's got history going all the way back to 1988 when it was first introduced, all the way through today. So to me, the big gold belt is, always has been, and always will be the top belt design ever made. So, did you enjoy my list? Is there anything that I left out? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to check out other content here on the XWE Network. Links will be all over the place. There's a lot of great stuff to check out. Now again, we've covered the best and the worst. But be sure to join me here again when Diaz gives you another top 5. I'm Morgman Rich Diaz, and I will see you soon.